Hi, this is Daniel O'Connor from Warbit, and this is a quick video to explain the sales and donations of surplus assets to staff for personal use feature. I'm going to explain why you should consider selling or donating assets to staff for personal use. I'm going to explain about the process, the various control features, the legal implications, and also the way forward. When I used to work in the public sector as a waste manager, this would happen quite a lot. Surplus reusable assets going to landfill for no good reason. Staff would see this and ask me, Daniel, can I take that asset home if it's going in the skip? And, we would, being practical, would pull it out and would make sure that asset went home with a staff member if they wanted it. Obviously, that wasn't legitimate. It wasn't above board. It was ad hoc. It was word of mouth. So it never got maximised to any sort of big scale. Okay. So with Warbit, as a result of requests from customers and also my personal experience, we've now built a feature whereby you can donate or sell assets to staff for personal use, legitimately, above board and legally. Why should you consider sales and donations to staff for personal use? Okay, so it's personal use, it's not work use, it's not working from home use, it's for personal use. So you're giving or selling that asset to the staff to take home and use in their personal life, okay? You're in a large organisation, there's a large staff body, okay? You're already doing internal reuse for work reasons, you might be donating to third parties and charities and other organisations, but you're often left with stuff that's left over, and that stuff can't hang around forever and it might have to get scrapped, okay? So you've got a good market in your staff body to divert that waste away from landfill. Okay, that's so benefit number one. Benefit number two, you can generate a revenue. Now in the past, this activity might not have been explored because, it wasn't legitimate and it might have pushed up against certain policies and procedures. But with the control mechanisms that we've got on Warbit and the way that the process is above board and traceable and auditable, you might want to revisit this issue, okay? Another good benefit is that by getting staff to engage with the reuse system for personal use, you also increase their exposure to reuse for internal purposes as well. So you're going to increase participation in your reuse system, okay? So on Warbit, as it stands, when you add an asset, it's advertised to the Priority 1 group first. Priority 1 group is staff within the organisation for work use. If that asset isn't claimed and your settings allow, that asset can then be advertised to your Priority 2 list, which are organisations that you've enabled a friend request, okay? If your settings allow, there's then a third priority, Priority 3, which is everyone else on Warbit, so you can donate assets through a cascade and priority. Internal staff first, friends, then anyone else on Warbit, okay? And you can turn them on and off with the settings. Now, we call those settings the share days. So, X number of days before the deadline of an item, that item will become available to Priority 2 or Priority 3, okay? With the introduction of sales to staff, we are introducing a new priority, which uses the same share days. So X days before the end of the deadline for an asset, staff can then take that asset home for personal use. Okay, so staff donations you can think about as becoming either Priority 1A, Priority 2A. Okay. What does it look like? Okay, so this is a screenshot from an asset, some chairs, okay, that are on the system now. This all looks the same, you're familiar with this, but now this is new. If this asset is going to become available for home use, there's a little notification at the bottom, okay? So this particular asset hasn't reached its deadline, so it's not available for home use yet. Staff can add it to their, what we call their watch list, okay, to watch for home use, okay? When that asset reaches its deadline, the administrator can log into the system and approve the asset for home use and make it go live for home use. The administrator can also add a cost. The administrator can also bulk process those assets. So for example, if you've got a list, let's say you've got these 5 assets here and you want to bulk proceeds and add, I don't know, £10, £20 to each one, you can in one go, okay? So you can bulk process the assets in the same way as you can on the system normally to save time. But the important thing to remember is the administrator has to release the asset for home use, okay? So you can control what goes for home use. When the asset is released for home use, it will appear in the marketplace under a new tab to staff. So this is the normal tabs. You know, you will have one to three of these tabs, okay? But this is a new tab. Assets that are available for home personal use. Let's have a look in there. So this is what it looks like. You know, you're familiar with this already, but now there's a little sentence here which says available for staff use. So now you will see, this looks the same as what you usually expect, but there's a new sentence there, available for staff personal use. So when you click into that, this is what you see. So you're familiar with this, but this is new, okay? A few things to take note of here. There's a notification that the asset is available for personal use. There is a price. You'll see here I picked the one that's 0 so that, you know, donation is available, you know, donation, but you can add a price here as well, obviously. There is a new legal agreement, which is completely different to the legal agreement that's within the existing framework. This legal agreement is for gifting and selling assets. Okay, so you need to have a look at this and check with your legal team that it's okay to use. There's also a tick box to say they're over 18, and they can buy the asset now. If that has a value, monetary value, this will take them to a PayPal account where they must pay for it online. Okay, if it's 0, then it won't go to PayPal, but it'll carry on as a claim. What then happens is a notification will go to the administrator, telling them what to do next, and approve the transaction, and a notification will go back to the new owner as well, advising them what to do next. Okay. I mentioned that there's a PayPal transaction, so the institution needs to have a PayPal account that money's going into, and the buyer just needs to have a debit or credit card, okay, or a PayPal account. Now, you can set a PayPal account however you want. It might be that, you know, you use a charity PayPal account so that money goes straight into charity, or you ring fence that fund for sustainability or reuse work, or whatever you want. The point is you need to have a digital transaction facility, and PayPal is one of the most popular and the easiest to use, so you need to set up a PayPal account. All the transactions in the normal fashion are tracked on the system. You can download all of the transactions, who added it, who took it away, what the replacement cost was, how much they paid, all of those sorts of KPIs that you're used to on the system, so you have an auditable, trackable metric list of your staff sales. So the legal issues, obviously there's a couple of legal issues, and there's a liability issue. There's also a benefit in kind tax issue, which you need to explore with your legal team. Okay. If you go into log into admin, go to settings and look at the legal section, you will see there's a new legal agreement, which you should consult with your legal team or equivalent. You take that agreement, you edit it as you see fit, and then you paste that into the appropriate place on the website, and then that agreement will apply to any sales or donations to staff. So what now? First thing to do, meet with your stakeholders in the organisation, view this video, and check out our demo account. I can send you details to log in and have a play around. Explore the system, look at the new feature, get used to it. If that's okay, then start to explore the legal T's and C's with your legal team or equivalent, and then, you know, enable staff donations within the settings and monitor how things are going. I believe this is a sensible solution for those items that are still ending up in the skip. You're going to save money on waste disposal costs. You're going to increase participation in your reuse system. You're going to generate revenue, and that asset's going to go to landfill anyway. Okay, so I think this is a logical next step forward to improve your reuse system. Okay. Next steps are we're going to explore sales to other parties, third parties. Thanks for your time. As usual, get in touch on the normal email address and we can discuss this feature. Thank you.